I can hear you. I'm good. How are you? It's-
Let's go. Guys, ready to start talking my way to this double low. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Take 2 of round 5 of the Supercheap Auto East Coast series. Apologies for the mic issue. Bob's playing some funny buggers on me this evening. And with me tonight, I have a driving co-host in Nathan Brown. How are you, Nato?
I'm good, Johnny. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Very good.
Certainly going to be very interesting, this whole talking and driving thing. I know I'm good at one of them, talking. So we'll see how this evening pans out.
I'm sure we'll have a reasonable crack at it, mate. You've done many a lap talking your way around the circuit, so hopefully we'll see how it rolls out tonight. As I just get the last little bits and pieces together. And we are in for an absolute cracker tonight, mate.
It's going to be a good one tonight, I reckon. 250 kilometres around Bathurst. How can you go wrong?
Oh, absolutely, you can't go too much wrong, to be honest. And we might just take the opportunity to let everybody get a bit familiar with Bathurst. Of course, the circuit starts down at the very bottom in the northern section of the circuit, where we come into Hell Corner, and then we go up the Long Mountain Straight. Then we go through Griffin's Corner, otherwise known as the Quarry, up into the cutting, through the cutting. Then we come up through Turn 5, across Turn 6 into Reed Park, through Fog Hollow, down through Suleiman Park, where we drop down past the Great, of course, back at Frog Hollow. Then through John Hinksman Vista, McPhillamy Park, Skyline. And then we drop down through the S's and the Dipper, into Forest Elbow, and then we head down Conrod Straight, all the way down to the Chase, where we finish off at Murray's Corner, and then come round to complete across the start-finish line. And got to say, the circuit is 6.21 kilometres long. It's one of the longest circuits that we race on in the V8 series. The current record holder in iRacing is Brady Myers with a 2:02.382. Very quick time. Wow. I'm assuming you're somewhere near that, Nate?
Yeah. If I go through the jump at the end of the chase, I'm sure I could get close.
Yeah, no, not to do that. Of course.
Oh. Only if... give me a minute to think of a good reason why.
Because you went left instead of right. And big shout out to Tracy Warboys on the chat watching us tonight. Great to have a bit of support following along. Of course, if you are out there, jump on, say g'day. And while we've only got ourselves a couple of minutes left, we might have a quick look at the current championship standings.
Ooh, interesting.
And as you can see, James Scott is on top of the table here at the 693. Adam Briggs, his teammate, 665. Blake Warboy sitting in third, which is a great effort from Blake. Andrew Dyson from simrig.com DPR sitting in fourth. Damien Johnson from Synergy Sim Racing in fifth on 620. Blake Delaney from Fishy on 614. And Cameron G. Jones from Century Motorsport on 608. James McKnight in the top 10 with a 596. And a James Chastanou for the 590 in ninth. Chris Smart rounds out the top 10 with Craig Schultz Brenton Hobson, who missed last week. Ash Barella in 13th, which is quite a good drive from Ash to be there. Nicholas Loveridge, 14th. Jamie Dyke, Alan Dawson, Liam Jensen, Dylan O'Shea, Harrison Dengate in 19th. Kenny Ladder in 20th. Ben Morris, 21st. Michael Whiting, 22nd, 23rd. Warren Davis, Jamie Davis in 24th. And Chris Island in 25th. And you're not in the top 50, Nath.
Oh, bother. Am I in the top 100?
Yeah, I hope so. Well, I haven't got that. And, of course, we're running 2 splits tonight, so we've only got a field of 50 drivers to tackle Bathurst. The powers that be thought 61 cars might be a bit too much, so we've got 50. So I'll have a quick look at the qualifying and quickly run through that. So on pole, we have Adam Briggs with a 2:02.476, which is an absolute cracking fast time from Adam, one of the informed drivers in the series at the moment. Teammate Tom Freer sitting in second. Kenny Ladder rounds out the top 3. Brenton Hobson takes out the first 2 rows for Synergy. I think the Jordan Ross and the boys will be pretty happy with that result. Blake Warboys sits in 5th. Sean McNamara makes his introduction to the series with a 2:03.001. So the boss of 9.5 SimSport joining the grid. With right behind him, we've got Jordan Ross, the boss of Synergy Sim Racing, and Dylan O'Shea in 8th from simrig.com DPR. Christian Smart sits in 9th, and 10th is Cameron G. Jones from Century Motorsports. Rounds out our top 10. 11th is Chris Island from Sendit SimSports. Ben Morris from 9.5 SimSport in 12th. Hayden Sell from Pursuit. Damien Johnson from Synergy. James Chastity from the Banter Alliance. Sebastian Vardell from Abersac Racing, Sim Racing, Jamie Dyke from Fishy, Harrison Dengate all the way back in 18th from WK&P, Blake Delaney from Fishy Motorsport in 19. 20 we've got Craig Schultz from 9.5, Dave Kirby from Fishy Motorsports back in 21st, Hayden Norris in 22nd from Riot Sim Sports, Michael Whiting, the boss of Fishy, back in 23rd, Jared Bailey from Rapid Team Rensport 24th, Ash Barella all the way back in 25th, with a very up-and-coming young Stephen Varga sitting behind him in 26th. Banter Alliance, Andrew Ritchie in 27. Matt G. Stewart from Vast Motorsports in 28, with David Nash from Riot Sim Sports in 29th. The People's Champion, Jamie McKnight, all the way back in 30th. Troy Maguire right behind him from Fishy Motorsports, with Dave Coleman, his teammate, on the same row in 32nd. Timmy Nichols in 33 from SimSport Image and Pecky Performance Racing shares the row in 34th with Sam Noble from 9.5 SimSport. And Sean Rigby from Performance Sim Racing in 35. Matt Whitaker in 36 from Calamari Racing. Andrew Dawson from Right Sim Racing in 37. Josh Drage all the way back in 38th. From WK&P SimSports. Bruce Tenick from Mag and Turbo back in 39th. Paul Young from the Banter Alliance sits back in 40th with teammate Warren Davis behind in 41st. 42nd. I don't know how he got here. Nathan Brown. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much. It's a real great honour to have it be here, Johnny.
And 43rd, we have Andrew Archer from Backmarket Racing, with Darren Shannon from Banter Alliance beside him in 44, Mitch Campbell from 9.5 SimSport, Nicholas Loveridge, Blake Urquhart from Century Motorsports, the Bogan Racing Boys represented by Brad Doble in 48th, Jason Scholar from Century, and Robbie Bradbury from Century rounds out our top 50, sorry. And I'll just get my breath back for a second and we'll keep going.
Yeah, I'm nearly tired after listening to all that. So many cars.
In such little time, as we only have 10 seconds before we get going here. So just a quick look as we have a look around at Sean McNamara, one of our newbies into the series, this race by, which is great to have Sean in here. And Sean's probably going to laugh at me. Spent plenty of time watching Sean's streams as the track goes quiet, as we now run into the starting grid. So I'll let you go quiet, Nath, so you can concentrate and think hard about what you're doing.
Survive.
Survive. So what is the strategy? What is the starting strategy? Just
Well,
while we've got a minute
to start
here.
off with, I've actually got I've been to Larko's board. To start off with, we're gonna.
Good evening, everyone.
It's
Welcome
tough.
to round 5.
If there's a safety car that comes out, we're gonna pit early on, and then the goal is to hit lap 15, because then we should be able to fuel save and make it home in one hit from there. But if we can't do that, I'm debating whether or not we come in slightly sooner or go slightly longer. So a few strategies on the go, but I'll basically make it up on the fly, have a look at the good old Excel spreadsheet just over there, and yeah, we'll wing it.
You're just going to wing it, eh? That's the idea.
Yeah. So if I can split it up as best I can into thirds, if there's no safety cars, I reckon that'll be not too do
course, you need to do 2 compulsory pit stops. Don't forget that.
Yes,
And
correct.
you
That's
must.
The one thing I forgot to mention there is those 2 pit stops. So.
And can only do 1 compulsory pit stop per safety car. We might just.
Yeah, correct. So
just while we're talking,
you can make it home. You can make it home and fuel with just 1 stop. So a lot of strategy is going to come into this race again, kind of like what I did last week.
And we'll just quickly scroll through the grid for those at home so they can see that while we're talking. So, of course, no driver's aid. We're racing in the morning. Track temp should be, or air temperature is about 18 degrees, so track temp will be a little bit warmer than that. Very light winds. The boys have 1 fast repair. And I think we're looking pretty good in 8th.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to lie, this whole talking in the lead up to it thing is calming the nerves a lot, because I haven't really let them sink in yet. But now that I go to the grid, I'm not even at the final corner yet. I'm at nearly at the 150 metre board.
Well, you just put the camera on you, Nate. You're just about under the Armour Oil Bridge.
It's a long way back.
As we jump on to Adam Briggs all the way up the other end, miles in front.
Yeah, I can't even wave to him from back here.
It's all right, mate. He'll be lapping you in about 20 minutes.
Oh, well, I wouldn't even give it that long. Survival is going to be the key here. I think for not just myself, but I think a lot of people will have a very, very similar mindset.
And we're about to go here, I think.
Yeah. So, if I go quiet for a bit, or you hear a few whoops, then I apologise in advance.
And the boys should be just about the grid. Yeah, we're gridding now. So we're about to go. Got 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, 4 red, 5 red, green flag. We're away. Looks like Warboys is a little bit slow off the line there in the back. But Briggs and Freya getting a nice clear run here into turn 1. Ladder and Hobson fighting it out behind. Looks like Ladder's going to get the break here. Everyone ducking straight away into a line. We've got Hobson, followed by McNamara, Warboys, Ross, O'Shea, Smart, Jones, Island, Ben Morris, as we head up Mountain Straight for the first time of our 41 circuits.
Oh, I think we've got 2 cars that may be in strife here. 1 car stopped on the main straight, the other stopped on the start-finish line.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one in a minute. We'll have a look. I haven't heard anything. As we come up into the cutting for the first time, Adam Briggs leads Tom Freya through. Kenny Ladder, Hobson, McNamara getting the jump on Warboys early. Looks like everyone's up and running again. As the snake goes over the top of the mountain for the first time. And Briggs getting out to a little bit of a lead, coming down into the S's through the dipper. Stephen Vargas crashed. Race controls on the radio. And we might just have a quick look what happened to Vargs. Supercheap auto replay. The engine just blew. That's all that is. So he's going up into the cuttings. There's a fair chance he's not going to get around the circuit. And someone else is going slow behind him. Not sure who that was. That appeared to be Craig Schultz, I think. Craig Schultz has stopped. That's Farga. And Schultz has stopped on the circuit too, both at the cutting. I've got a feeling we're going to be going to a safety car here.
Yeah, can confirm safety car has been called over the race radio, Johnny. We have our first yellow of the night.
Well, that didn't take long.
No. So you know what I'm going to do?
Pit.
Based on,
Just wait. Adam Briggs loses control under the safety car going into Murray's. That is big. He's going to have to wait for a procession of cars to go past here.
wow.
Going to try and poke his nose in. He's managed to get himself back on, but he's now back in 16th. Our race leader has lost 16 spots. Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow. Big shout out to Will Wilson as well, watching the stream. That is huge.
Absolutely massive that is, Johnny.
There's Richie Barella in the Supercheap Auto safety car, leads him up Mountain Straight for the first time. What was been a very hectic first lap. I'll try and recap everybody where we're at with all of the pits and everything else. But what we might do is we might try and go back to see what actually caused the incident early on. Paul Young went off the circuit. We'll have a quick look. This is a replay. So Paul Young doesn't quite even get to the line, just has a bit of a run on the grass. Nice of his teammate behind to stop and let him in. And someone in trouble already back there. Not sure who that was. We'll go to Craig Schultz. Craig Schultz got a great start. Someone stalled. Oh, crunch. Craig Schultz in trouble and also gets hit again. The 9.5 car absolutely spun, diced and sliced. And we'll try and have a look what happened to Stephen Varga. Stephen Varga's just popped an engine. So we might just go back. Stay on this one. And we'll go back again and we'll jump on this one. Bear with me. And it's gone to scenic, of course, does that to me. So Vargas has already got a blown engine, blowing smoke going down the straight there. So Vargas might be the car that stalled, I think. We might just try and go back one more time on this.
It is very, very hard to get the cars going around here at Bathurst. It's certainly not your normal or conventional start.
Yeah, I'd say Stephen Vargas stalled, and that was the incident that the 9.5 car Craig Schultz ran into. And then, of course, after that, while still on the safety car, we had this one under the safety car, our race leader, Adam Briggs, coming in a little bit too hot. I'm just wondering whether he was thinking about pitting, not thinking about pitting, losing concentration, and then all of a sudden, in deep trouble. And we'll go back to live pictures now. As we jump back on with Richie Barella on the safety car. Leading Tom Freer from Kenny Ladder, Hobson, Warboys, Ross. So Ross has done quite well. Of course, this leading group here is not pitted. So I'll try and work out where the leader of our pit stops are. And so we'll jump on here. So Paul Young in 42nd is pitted. And I think our leading pit stop car has been Sean McNamara. So McNamara is now back in 20th, having a stop. Just sitting behind the WK&P Supercheap Auto livery of Josh Drage. And it looks like we're probably going to go another lap under the safety car as we come down the hill. Or was the safety car pulled away?
I believe the safety car has been told to be pulled away, and I believe we're going green this lap.
Yeah, Richie is off. Stay on this.
Banking up.
And Richie nicely puts the safety car away in one piece. Unlike his incident last week.
Little whoopsie.
As Tom Freer leads us down towards Murray's corner. And he's away. We're off. We're green flag. He's gone early. Nice, clean restart here from Tom Freer. It's allowed Varga to get out in the pits just in front of him. So we're hunting him down as we head up the hill. Looks like it's a fairly clean start by everybody. Schultz coming out of the pits in the middle of traffic.
Nice clean restart from everyone back here. This is great.
Yeah, that's nice and clean up the front too, Nath. And Freo nicely already just about out to a second on Kenny Ladder. And some good tight packs before. Hayden Sell was up 3 spots. Giving all sorts of pressure on Chris Island here. Chris Island, of course, went purple in sector 1 of this lap. All over the back of Hayden's Sell is Ben Morris. Nice little battle pack forming here. Someone's had a bit of big lock up coming into Forest. As the cars head down Conrod Straight. Chris Island having a look on Chris Smart in front. Send it Sim Sports driver looking very racy, getting a little bit loose. Giving Hayden Sell a look in here. The Pursuit Sim Racing driver goes to the outside. But Island manages to hang on. But of course opens up the door for Ben Morris behind. Damien Johnson having a look here as well. And then Dengate just sitting off the back of this pack with Adam Briggs. So our pole sitter, he's worked his way back up into 13th. We might just jump up towards the lead at the moment. Hobson's doing very well. He's got the jump on Warboys in 4th. Warboys under all sorts of pressure from Jordan Ross behind. As might just jump on with the Synergy driver. Great driving by these boys as they come down through the S's and the Dipper and now start hunting down Tom Freer in front, who's got himself out to a 1.2 second lead from this group. Few boys still pinching up brakes as they go through that part of the circuit.
Huge freight trainer cars to update from the back of the pack here. So much fun.
And yeah, shout out to Aaron Sell as well. Yeah, you're right. I did hear that on the grapevine, but some paperwork hadn't been sent through to me to update my records. But yeah, Hayden now driving for 9.5 SimSport. Hayden Sell, that is. So some drivers moving around in the drivers market at the moment. As Jordan Rossi hunting down Warboys. Just jump back on. Let's check how the boys are getting on here. 3 wide, 2 wide through the corner. Well, under the wall. Not sure who that was. I think it might have been Hayden Sell. Oh, we've got a car turn at the cutting. I think that was Damien Johnston. Damien Johnston facing backwards at the cutting. He's off the driving line.
That's good.
But it'll be interesting to see what race control does about a car being parked in that location. It looks like everyone's going to get through safely. Wave as you go past Nath.
Hello.
And no, Damien's got the car going again. And Nathan Brown gets a free spot. Let's have a quick look how the boys a bit further back are going. And jump on with Brad Doble from Bogans Racing. He's got a fair bit of pressure behind him from Dave Kirby and Blake Delaney, the two fishy boys. As we look for a big dive up the inside. Gets the job done. Both the fishy boys coming through. The sushi train working well tonight by the looks. And Jared Bailey.
Confirm, they are going well.
Jared Bailey getting in the action now, looking for a free ride down. This race has all of a sudden got real interesting. Plenty of spots to be looking. And there's the 9-5 boys. They have definitely picked up some talent. Already had plenty of good talent to start off with, though. Don't undersell the rest of these boys. And someone's off in the cutting. Not sure who that was. Might be Hayden Norris, I think.
Hayden Norris and Troy Maguire. May have been a little bit dicey where they were going together there.
Yeah, Maguire just redressed. Another free spot for you, Nath.
Yeah, we'll take them when we're there because I'm around some very quick boys at the moment.
As we jump back on, and Jordan Ross has got past War Boys. As we try and recap up the front. So the depth and strength of the Synergies sim racing team definitely showing their pace tonight. As we come down across the mountain with Ross, who now starts to hunt down his teammate Kenny Ladder. He's sitting in third, Hobson in second, Freer in first. Of course, a few of these boys missing last week because they were part of the Supercar Draft Series. But they're back here now, showing plenty of pace.
Pull up. There we go.
And of course, the two boys on screen at the moment, Ross and War Boys and Hobson and Freer, they're all part of the Logitech G Pro Series as well, which has got their next round coming up in 2.5 weeks at Red Bull, which will be quite interesting to see how those boys take it up the next level after a very full-on Winton.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some very intense practice and many hours put into it before that event.
Oh, absolutely. Quality of racing in that series is just mind-blowing. Ben Anthony saying there's too many SSR cars.
I heard Ben might want to have a steer one day.
Well, that's the rumour. The rumour is going around that Ben Anthony is all set, ready to go. And we might just jump on board with Blake while we're sitting in this particular spot here, in this battle. And we might just jump on the cam here. So Wallboy is sitting behind Ross, looking very intense. A little bit of glitching, but that's all right. We'll ignore the Muppet sitting behind him. Yes, Ben Vargs was involved in a start line incident. And yeah, Vargs is a lap down with Craig Schultz. They both blew engines going into the cutting, which brought out our first safety car. And that led to Adam Briggs, our pole sitter, falling off the circuit and dropping back to 16th down at Murray's Corner under the safety car. And that pretty much recaps where we're at the moment as Tom Freer, Hobbo, Ladder, Jordan Ross and War Boys have been pretty much consistent where they are. Dylan O'Shea trying to latch onto the back of this group under pressure from Cameron Jones. So that is the key of it all, of where the situation is up to at the moment. And the other thing to remember, sitting back, as we might jump back and have a look at him now, as Hayden Sell heads into the pits. So sitting back here with Dengate in 13th, he's up 5 spots. We've got Sean McNamara in his first E-Series race, the 9.5 legend that he is, sitting in 12th, and he is the first of the guys that have made a pit stop. So it'll be interesting to see how things roll out as running on lap 8 of 41. And another big shout out to my co-host who's enjoying a wonderful holiday. Oh, a bit loose there, Harry. And big shout out to Mark Duggan as well if you're watching, mate. I hope you're enjoying your break. I hope to have you back soon. Not having to go at you, Nath.
It's great to have him on board as well. Yeah, hopefully he's having a great time out and about.
We might just look down the back a bit more. Let's see how Bruce Tannick's getting on. Bruce is up 10 spots from Mag and Turbo Motorsport, sitting in 29th. It's a great drive from him. And of course, our great mates at Bogan Racing, Brad Doble, up 21 spots. And he's doing quite well, trying to hunt down Jamie McKnight, who's 3 seconds up the road. Blake Urquhart from Century Motorsports, sitting in 21st. He's up 26 spots. And Mr. Supercheap, as he's now known in the WK&P team, is up 23 spots in 15th. So he's having a great drive, young Josh. I like how he keeps the Supercheap auto logos pristine, but wipes off the WK&P ones. Yeah, so
not going to keep our vinyl guy very happy, is it, Johnny?
No, it's not. And he's hunting down Ash Barella, good mate in front of him. So that'll be a good little battle to come back and have a look at. As Blake Urquhart now dives into the pits. And we're going to jump back on this guy here in the Petters WK&P car. And we're going to ask the question.
Yeah?
Yep.
Which question's that?
Talk us a lap.
Okay, well, here we go. A lot of talking into turn 1, near the 100-metre board, hit the brakes. Some boys go a lot deeper than that, but we're still getting there. Whoa, spinner on the left, stay out of the way there. Get a good run going up Mountain Straight. Not too bad according to the relatives, apparently. That's 1/10 up on the PB, so let's see how we go throughout the lap. But have a good check of the bars, check the brake bias here, drive under the Petters sign. Little brake in the paint there, we jump hard on the brakes. Down 2 gears into 3rd. Got to be a bit patient here, wait. You don't want to give it too much throttle too soon. Quick adjust to the brake bias. Up the hill, feather the brake pedal through around here, otherwise you don't want to lock it up. Hold it in nice and tight. Up, around we go. Again, careful of the throttle because it gets a little bit loosey-goosey, just a bit like that. Through the Jiu-Jitsu signs. Quick left-rights. All very twitchy, feathering the throttle. Here we go, through here, again, feather, little tap of the brake, full throttle again, off as we come up over the top. Try and get on the power as soon as we can, making it up onto Skyline, and down we go. 3rd gear, pulling it up, trying our best that we can there. 2nd gear, trying to pull it up without locking, and through the dipper. On the power as soon as we can. Mash that throttle, keep it in 3rd, and gently massaging that brake pedal as we go down into the elbow. Woo! A little bit too excitedly, feeding on the power. Not a bad little catch there, but certainly not the right way to do it there. And now, after all that, you can get your breath back. Not for long though, because Damien Johnston, I think, is going to give it a red hot go at a pass here. Yep, he sure is. This could be very interesting. As we go around the cutting, hit the 200-metre board, pull it down, all the way down into 2nd, pull it up to miss him, give him plenty of room, and well done. That's a bugger, it was against me, but that was very well done. Coming up, could make a pass here, down here, about the 125-metre board, pull it up into 2nd gear, try and miss that curb, straighten it up as best as we can, and well, that was one very entertaining lap around Bathurst.
You done well, Nath. Well, let's get your breath back for a second.
Oh, anyone got a puffer handy?
Darkarakis, mate, has said that you were very loosey-goosey, but that's all right.
It's a well, you get that on the big jobs.
So might just jump back up the front, have a bit look what's going on up there. So Tom Free is still definitely away at 1.8 seconds, but Ladder, Ross, Hobson, and more boys hanging on to the back of this group. As of course, got to remember the guys have got to do 2 compulsory pit stops tonight. And you got to be joking. Said you looked very nervous.
Well, that would be a very, very correct answer there. I was certainly trying my best not to mess it up. Pull up. Oh, look at that, perfect. That's exactly what we were meant to do. Yes, nervous.
If you really want to seem nervous, wait till you see when I get his phone and his Tinder account.
Oh, that's entertainment 101. So if while we're on the topic, if there's anyone that's likes what they see that is of the female kind, not the male kind, no pranks there, hit us up on Tinder. Give us a go. Swipe yes.
So these boys look quite settled here. I reckon they're settling into get themselves organised for the pit stop, which will be coming up. And of course, the man to keep an eye on at the moment is the guy in 10th spot, which is Sean McNamara, the lead car of our stoppers. The next bunch of stoppers is Chaston, who's back in 16, and Dyke in 17. And I think we've got a car stopped on track. I'm just trying to find out who that is.
Ooh,
I think Hayden Sell is in the wall. He's done the engine, but I think he's close enough to get it back into the pits, I think.
That'd be a very lucky win if he can do that.
And we're going to bring in the man of shenanigans and give you a break, Nath. Stephen Varga, welcome to the Combox. Hello, Vargs.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, mate. How you doing?
Oh, yeah, not been better. I think I've bloody kicked a cat or walked under a ladder or done something because I have a bag full of bad luck in this series so far. So one day we'll make to the end without an incident. So yeah, I did take it easy coming into pit lane this time.
You did.
A little bit of sideways action, but otherwise it was pretty well behaved. It's under speed limit.
Yep. Kept all the wheels on the ground. We're getting
I actually did have 3 wheels on the ground at one stage because I did a bit of a burnout going in accidentally and put it halfway up on the pit wall. Well, that's how they go sometimes, or all the time so far.
Absolutely, and just going back on a few comments that have come in, Nath. We're getting quite a few comments about doing live Tinder ads. And Aaron Sell has asked the question, are you seriously driving, commentating, and advertising your Tinder account at the same time?
Well, they don't call me Mr. Trifecta for no reason. Whoop. Oh dear. Yeah, jack of all trades apparently, master of none.
And I'll let you read what Faz said later. And Tracy Warboys has asked a question, what would your mother say?
Typical Nat. If you are watching, Mum, I apologise, but hi. And Dad. I'm sure they're on the stream enjoying it, having a good laugh.
So we might go back. Hey, look, Michael Whiting sitting in 19th. So what's the word coming out of the Synergy Sim Racing Discord, Vargs?
No idea. I've been in Packies tonight. I was just having a chat with them in there.
It just would have been interesting to get the small talk with Adam Briggs after he went off.
I had no idea. He's just been concentrating on doing the job and getting back on the pace and following the leader and what can become at the end of the race.
Car stopped up the top of the hill, sorry lads.
The car stopped? Where's that? I can't see who that is, yeah. It is 39. I think that might be Mitch Campbell. And I've gone to the safety car for some reason. Mitch Campbell is...
Take off. Alright, who didn't take off the grid? Just out of curiosity.
I thought it was Schultz. Schultz, I think, yeah.
He has me a bottle of piss, because I'm at it, and I need something to drink now while I watch. So, they happen, unfortunately.
And we might just have a quick look to open the Mitch Campbell in the first place on Supercheap Auto Replay. While that's doing that, he's just lost that himself. And I'll make life easy for you, Vargs. We'll go back to live pictures. And I will share my obs screen so you can at least see the live pictures we're looking at in the comm box. So, Kenny Ladder has been passed by Jordan Ross. Now, these boys at the front here are setting a cracking pace. As we just have a quick look at what their best lap times have been.
Oh, don't say that. That'll make me feel real slow.
So Tom Frere's been going around with a 2:03.1. Hobson with a 2:03.3. Jordan Ross has got the quickest time so far tonight, getting under the 2:03s. Ladder with a 2:03.0. Warboys with a 2:03.2. And then O'Shea with a 2:03.5. So...
blimmin' quick.
I won't tell people what your best time is.
Go on, do it. I'm curious. Saves me having a look and feel bad for myself.
2:06 flat.
Conservative is what they call that. Conservative. Saving those... that's a vinyl wrap guy's not going to like that. Yeah, saving those tyres.
And we might just recap as well how Sean McNamara is going. Still sitting in 10th. Of course, he's the first guy to pit under the safety car earlier. So I need to keep a close eye on him, because if the boys in front end up stopping, it'll be interesting to see how they go.
I reckon whoever's pitted, certainly with the way this race is panning out, in the box seat in the moment, I reckon.
Of course.
Because if we can make it one more lap...
Oh, McKnight's in the wall. McKnight's gone.
Oh, no.
McKnight is gone. Go to the Supercheap Auto Replay. He's down into the chase. Nice little tap. Oh, what do you think? You reckon the stewards have a bit of fun with that one, Bugs?
I'm watching on the stream, so I'm not up to date on the replay yet, but I'm waiting for it. Ooh. Yeah, it's a bit ambitious, I'd have to say. Oh, yeah, I think he's in a bit of trouble. Not Jamie, the person who tried to overtake him.
Warboys is now under a fair bit of pressure from O'Shea. Looks like O'Shea's not quite getting in the draft here too well as we come down into the chase.
Nathan and Blake, you both need to see me in the same room.
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, they are. Sorry, I've just seen Blake's ugly mug under 10 there as he to the right.
Yeah, we call it the man cave. Our spare rooms and currently the living room.
You got the weird hang-up seat in the other end too, I'm guessing.
No, we're in a very tiny house where we are. It's only 3 rooms, living room, bathroom, but we managed to make it work.
I've heard what goes on in place.
Of course, Coanda claimed they had the first sim house, and Altaseas claimed they had the first sim house in Australia, but no, it was These two Muppets from WK&P. And fighting these boys off quite well is Briggsy, Christian Smart, Timmy Nichols and Brad Doble from Bogan Racing. All ducked in for their pit stops now.
Question, have they done a pit stop already?
No, Jimmy
No.
hadn't.
Might just jump back. Bruce Tennick's under a bit of pressure here coming down up Mountain Straight. It looks like he's about to get past Andrew Ritchie. They go side by side into Griffins. And Dave Nash from Riot looking to get into the action as well. As we're still too wide racing. Some great driving under pressure from Andrew Ritchie there. Andrew Dyson in the chat. Big shout out to Andrew, not racing tonight. So he's young charger Dylan sitting in 6th from simrig.com DPR. As we tick over lap 16 of 41 here, coming down the mountain, these boys. As War Boys Ross, Frere stays out, O'Shea stays out, and our leaders are in. So Ross, Hobson, Ladder, War Boys, Jones are all in. Now we've got to start looking where Sean McNamara is.
Fun fact, Johnny.
McNamara's about to pass them all.
Whoever pitted for, or whoever's pitted already, if they make their second pit stop now, they should be able to make it home on fuel.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah, as a coming from the live strategy box going around at the moment.
And a few
Wait
others
on the
are in.
straight.
Dengate's also gone into the pits as well.
23 laps to get to a tank, I think.
Sounds about right. And we might jump down and have a quick look how Dave Kirby, Fishy Motorsports, going as he goes side by side here with Matt Stewart from Vast. And a few of these other boys now all starting to head out. Behind Harrison Dengate. Joins the
Car stopped
train.
on the pit straight. David Nash.
David Nash. I've lost him. I had him a minute ago. Looks like he's recovered. Got it going again.
Covered? Okay, that's good.
Bruce Tannick side by side here. Going way out wide at Griffins. Manages to hang on to it. And Andrew Ritchie now having looked. Paul Young, sorry, now having come back at him. And then, of course, Dylan O'Shea and Tom Frere still running. They pick up our race leader at the moment. They're going through for another lap, so he's obviously saved a fair bit of fuel somewhere along the way here. Dylan O'Shea's gone into the pits, which moves Sean McNamara from 9.5 SimSport up into 3rd. And behind him, we have Ben Morris and Chris Island who haven't pitted. Island going into the pits now, and then James Chastaney from Banter Alliance sitting in 6th is the next guy who had stopped under the safety car. Jump back, Troy Maguire side by side with one of the Century Motorsports boys here, getting past Jason Scholler. And the bloke behind looks like he's under a fair bit of pressure as well from Dave Coleman. Fishy Motorsports. Nath, you can't punt him off like that.
Yeah, a little closer than what I thought there he was.
Not when I got the camera on you.
Give me plenty of room.
Now you're under attack.
Very intense, that
Now you're
situation.
under attack. Now you're under attack from behind. You just let Dawson through.
It's alright, we're getting close to the end of the stint here. Keep it square, see if I can sit in their toes, save that little bit of fuel.
The next bloke behind is going to take no prisoners.
Oh, okay, we'll block him.
So it looks like the boys that pitted early at the moment are on the right side of the dice. So Tom Freer, our race leader, the only guy that hasn't pitted out of our top drivers, him and Ben Morris. I'm expecting Freer to come in this time by. No.
No, probably keeping the pressure tyres to the last stint.
Oh, this is great drive then with the lap times he's been churning out. Have a quick look. Hobbo's under a bit of pressure here. He's got Sam Noble from 95 SimSport right in front of him. And it looks like Jared Bailey's having a good look behind him as well. And Hobbo getting the job done here, I think. Nicely. And Jared Bailey peels off into the pits behind. So 1, 2 and 3 very well spread out from everybody else. Tom Freer, of course, is 18 seconds up the road from McNamara. He's 4 seconds up the road from Morris. He's 12 seconds up the road from Chastity. He's 1 from Dyke. 4 from Whiting. 2 from O'Shea. And then Blake Delaney in 8th, up 11 spots. He's under a little bit of pressure from Brenton Hobson behind.
That's the People's Champ recovered too after that little altercation.
Let's see if we can find the man, the myth, the legend, Jamie McKnight. I believe he's still out there. Where is he? He's sitting in 25th. He's up 5 spots still from where he started. It looks like he's tucked on the back of a nice train here with Christian Smart, Andrew Ritchie, Nicholas Loveridge and Jared Bailey in front. Tom Freer, our race leader, is in the pits at the moment. We might just jump on with Sean McNamara and see how this all pans out as McNamara now heads down past the pit entry. Comes around through Murray's and we have a new race leader, Sean McNamara. So he's getting past a few boys in the pits there. And Ben Morris, who still hasn't pitted behind him. So Ben Morris doing really well here. Tom Freer comes out. We'll see how he comes out compared to Hobson, Ladder and Ross. So, of course, with 2 compulsory pit stops, fuel strategy will be key here, whether they've short fueled or long fueled. Jordan Ross getting past Kenny Ladder there. And Tom Freer back out in 4th. Synergy Sim Racing boys showing some very good speed over the mountain. And we might just jump back, have a quick look at Timmy Nicol.
That's very convenient timing.
When you're flashing your headlights at someone, yeah.
I was saying I got a hello to H. He's giving me a big old flashy flash.
And Timmy Nichols in the orange Becky Performance livery. Nice looking car. Timmy getting very loose there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in those marbles.
Which has opened up the door for Joshy Drage. Great little battle. Yeah, all sorts of pressure here, Nate.
Yeah. Yeah. And the rear tyres are not liking it, I can tell you that much for free.
Just don't bin it, mate. We've got the cam on.
It had to have been close then.
Oh, Jesus. I can't
We've been
watch.
lucky.
We'll
Like
go
a
have a look
tail
at Jared
whip gun
Bailey.
going on there.
We'll go look at Jared Bailey. We'll leave you alone. Jared Bailey and Bruce Tannick. Looks like Jared's just got the job done. And Nicholas Loveridge sitting right behind him. Christian Smart in this battle as well. And McKnight hanging on to the back of this battle pack. It's a good little battle pack we got here. This is all the way back at 16th, 17th, 18th. Then we'll get rid of Nathan off the screen. They've been a good little recovery from Jamie. Latch on the back of this pack here, the wily old master that he is. He'll probably work out how he's going to get past him. Do you reckon he would have cooled down by now, Vargs?
Nah. I'm sure he's calm under that helmet. Concentrating, just playing the move.
There we go. It was Sebastian Vandel that stalled at the start. With a
Come on.
big apology from the young fella in the chat, in the Discord chat, which is nice to see. As these guys here having a cracking battle. It's coming to Forest Elbow, where we might jump up into a bit of a recap in a second. It's Adam Briggs now still trying to fight his way back. Gets past the Matt Stewart from Bathurst. So Briggsy, of course, was our pole sitter, leading up to lap 2, where he came off at Murray's Corner under the yellow flag.
Oh, that wasn't Sebastian I hit. I think that was Craig. Oh.
Right, no. And Jordan Ross now under all sorts of pressure going wide, which has allowed Blake Delaney from Fishy Motorsport through. This trio for 9, 10, 11 have really bunched up again. Troy Maguire's had an incident. We might go to the tailor-made replay. So let's rephrase that one. That was last season. Go to the Supercheap Auto replay and have a look what happened to Troy Maguire from Fishy. Looks like this has happened coming down through the S's. A little bit loose. Try and hang on to the back of those boys. Does he get control of it? Nicely in the wall, nicely off the driving line. And it sounds like it's got the engine going again. And wait for a nice little flick spin here under the tree. Nicely done. And he's got that one going. As we might just recap, Sean McNamara is our race leader. Sean, of course, pitted under the safety car that we had on lap 2. That allowed him, I think, to get the jump on these boys. So his fuel strategy is a little bit different to the other guys. Sorry, it's lap 3, I think it was. So he's just about to be due for a pit stop now. Ben Morris hasn't pitted yet. He obviously started with full tanks. Sitting in second. Tom Freer. Of course, Tom was leading the race after lap 3 and came in for his pit stop on lap 18. So a little bit later than what Sean McNamara was. And then we've got Chassis and Jamie Dyke were also two of the early stoppers. So Chassis, of course, is 4 seconds down on Tom Frere and 1.5 seconds ahead of Jamie Dyke behind. So Jamie as well, one of the early stoppers. And then we got Dylan O'Shea, who stopped on lap 16 in 6th. So Dylan doing quite well here. Oh, commentator's curse. Manages to hang on to it and collect it. We'll get a nice little slowdown for that somewhere along the line in a second. We'll have to manage that one carefully. All under control. And Michael Whiting up 16 spots in 7th. Another one who stopped under the safety car. And Brenton Hobson in 8th. A few scrapes on the side of the car there. And Kenny Ladder in 9. Jordan Ross rounds out our top 10. And a few boys in the pits now. Down the back half of the field. So we've got Shannon, Nash, Barella, Whittaker in the pits. So not sure what's happened to those guys.
Fresh tyres are amazing.
And Matt Stewart now goes in the pits from 15th. So Whiting up 16 spots, which is a great drive in the 7th. Might just go back, have a look at that. Of course, Jamie McKnight's now gone in and had his second stop. So, of course, if you're stopping now, you get the car home. So all these boys that have now made 2 stops, that have done their 2 stops late, would be looking quite good.
Yeah, well, I've taken a bit of a punt and I am about to go a lap down. However, I've done both my stops now. So fingers crossed, should be good. And we'll see how this strategy pans out.
Yep.
Oh, McNamara in the pits.
Yep, just going in now.
Haha, officially didn't go a lap down. Oh no, he crossed the line before me. I still went a lap down.
Hopefully you'll be out before him. It's Ben Morris is in the pits too, which will now Tom Frere to take back over as being the lead. Big shout out to Got to Be Joking. Thanks for dropping in, mate. Great to have some of our regular fans jumping in again. Of course, if you are there watching and you want to shout out to who you're supporting, and we'll try and update you on how their race is going for the night. So McNamara now back down into 8th and 9th. So they're dropping down the leaderboard a bit. Brenton Hobson starting to catch up behind Michael Whiting. And Jordan Ross just got past Kenny Ladder. So the Synergy boys working their way back up into the top order. Cameron Jones behind here. So he's tucked up behind Fishy's Blake Delaney with Warboys right behind him. So this is a bit of a tight squeeze of a battle in here. Wallboy's trying to look after the car a bit through here, I think. Won't be doing any major silly dives.
Seems to have got himself in a pretty good position there.
Of course, lap 24 of 41, so still a fair way to go here.
What happened to good old Mr. Ash Barella?
Oh, I don't know. He's been sitting in the pits for a fair while.
Yeah, because all my relatives are saying he's a lap down, which can't be too good.
He's been... Let's have a look. He's still circulating. So he would have had some damage a bit earlier on. I can't see where he's been involved in anything. So I'm not sure what's happened to Ash. Michael Whiting now making his last pit stop. And Nathan's up 6 spots into 36th.
It's always exciting.
And Ben Anthony giving away all the secrets tonight, saying that Mac is the favourite because he doesn't have to pit again.
Oh, come on, Benny. I'm in the same boat here. You never know what could happen. I better get a wriggle on, though.
And Will Wilson has asked you, Nath, where would you take her on a Tinder date? She is a warlock but loves sushi and Pringles.
Ooh, well, there's a, I guess, sushi train. Shout out to the fishy boys. And the nearest Coles. And a lovely stroll along the beach.
Probably jump.
There's a few, there's actually a few good sushi spots down here in Melbourne, not gonna lie. I used to be a real big sushi man, but...
Oh, someone, who's that? That was Warboys, I think. Just what loose.
Blake, I think, yeah.
Warboys. Too busy listening to you. That's unlike Blake. And we might just have a look exactly what happened there. Andrew Ritchie's been involved in this. We've got Supercheap Auto replay. Oh, I think, was he clipped there, I think? Have to jump back. We'll go look at that one more time. I've got a feeling Blake might have been just clipped by the car he was lapping, so that's a little bit unfortunate for Blake. And we'll just have a quick look what happened to Andrew Ritchie. Andrew Ritchie coming up into the cutting.
That car that's minus.
Oh, parked it in the wall. Is he going to get off it though? Safety car would make things very interesting now. As
Sure would.
he's just done the old tow and go. So that'll be Ritchie done. As Jordan Ross now is under a bit of pressure from Kenny Ladder behind. So Kenny's hanging on the Jordan Ross.
Whoa. If without permission. Cool.
There's another free one for you, Nath.
I'll take them where we can get them. I'm just trying to push as hard as I can so I don't actually get lapped.
I'll leave the Tinder jokes alone. You opened that one right up.
That's possibly what's keeping me going. Nearly an hour into this race. Still got a little bit to go though.
Still got a long way to go. As we might have a look at who some of our hard chargers are at the moment. Josh Strage is up 23 spots in 15th. Under all sorts of pressure from Jamie Dyke and Chastity here. As Hobson and Delaney head into the pits for their final stops. Josh Drage gets overtaken here, tries to hang on to the corner. Bit loose and wily. Manages to hang on. And Chastity gets past him now, coming down the hill. So Josh backing out of that one. And we might just jump down. Andrew Archer, of course. One of the backmarker racing boys. He's doing quite well tonight. He's up 19 spots in 24th at the moment. He's already had 2 stops. So hopefully he'll make it to the end.
Oh, the mechanics aren't going to like that.
And Archer heads into the pits. So he has to make one more stop, which is quite interesting. Jump back up the front. So Kenny Ladder, of course, here. Got a bit of lap traffic in front of him with Darren Shannon from Banter Alliance. Which is allowing Jordan Ross to get right back up under. Now, can Jordan Ross get a tow out of this situation here of passing the lap traffic? It's Ladder into the pits. Does Jordan follow? No, Jordan stays out. So keep an eye on Sean McNamara back in 9th spot. We believe he's got enough fuel to go all the way home. More boys into the pits as well. I'll just have a quick look at this pit strategy window. I can see Freya stopped on lap 18. He's got 9 out of these tyres. O'Shea has got 11 out of this set. Ross has got 12. Of course, a few of these boys have pitted on this lap as well. McNamara made his second stop. He's got 4 already out of this one. He made 22 in his first stint. Jamie Dyke and Chasten have got 24 laps out of their first stint, so those boys definitely have enough to get home.
It'll be interesting to see how quickly the boys that are pitting now can reel in those that are on half a stint old tyres.
Absolutely, it'll be very interesting to see what happens now. Just to answer Will Wilson's question. Well, it's yeah, I think that's what she said. We'll leave it at that.
I like it.
As Tom Freer is now in the pits, so let's see what Dylan O'Shea does as he comes down on one of the Century boys. And we'll go back to the battle box. So lap traffic is becoming very, very much part of this race now that we've been going under green flag since lap 2 or 3. We do have someone off in the chase. 38. Robbie Bradbury, but he's got it going again. Dylan O'Shea still circulating. And of course, car behind Blake Urquhart, lap down. So Dylan O'Shea is 13 seconds up the road from Adam Briggs. Adam, of course, our pole sitter. And we might just have a look. There's a bit of a battle going on here with Ben Morris from 9.5 Simsport. As he comes up on the back of Vast's Matt Stewart. And Jared Bailey trying to hang on to the back of these boys as well. Oh, a bit loose in the background there. That looked like it might have been Dave Kirby. Got control of it. These boys too wide through Griffin. Having a great little battle here. Coming up into the cutting. And into the wall. Jared Bailey. Keeps it going in a straight direction, but I don't think she'll be steering straight, Darren. Yeah, definitely got a steering problem there as he tucks into the wall. Going backwards, Josh Gray just passed. It's a slow car up top, Nath.
Oh, could be a safety
No,
car.
it's safety car. He stopped. He stopped. So Jared Bailey. We have a safety car. Jared Bailey went off the track. We saw it. He got a little bit too wide. Ended up into the wall at the cutting. It's Richie Barella will be out in a second. This is going to make life very interesting. Briggs is in the pits. Smart is in the pits. Dengate is in the pits. This opens up the door for Dylan O'Shea. Coming across the top of the mountain now. Dylan to duck in and get a cheap pit stop.
I'd be half tempted to, but I really don't want to go a lap down. But if you haven't pitted yet for your second, you'd be silly not to go in now, I reckon.
Well, that only leaves Dylan O'Shea, our race leader.
Yep.
Sam Noble and Brad Doble from Bogan Racing, and that's it.
Wow.
So expecting all them.
Very interesting sprint to the finish, this will.
Dylan O'Shea is going like a cut cat down Conrod Straight and try and get in as much time as he can before the safety car. Where is Richie? Richie's parked at the end of the pit lane here. So he won't be picking up O'Shea. Second is Sean McNamara, and he's 20 seconds back, so... There's number 2. McNamara just coming down Conrod now. So this will be quite interesting, I think. As we come into pit lane. As we can see McNamara coming in. McKnight on the radio, so not sure what Jamie's upset about. As we jump on with Sean McNamara now. McNamara coming out of the chase. They can have all the best laid plan strategies, but safety cars can throw everything out the window. As McNamara now takes the race lead from Dylan O'Shea. O'Shea would be looking to get rolling again. Tom Freer's gone through. Hobson's gone through. O'Shea's now rolling. Of course, these boys will be picking the safety car up as they come out. O'Shea just gets out in front of Jordan Ross. So, Sean McNamara tucked up behind the safety car. So, with 10 laps to go, we've got Sean McNamara, our race leader. Now, Sean pitted 7 laps ago, so his tyres will be slightly older than Tom Freer. Hobson in third. O'Shea, who's just pitted, he'd have the fresh tyres as someone gets a wave around. So O'Shea with the fresh tyres is just pitted. Jordan Ross, ladder, they were all running pretty much the same strategy. Jones in the same similar strategy with Briggs. So the $1 million question will be, I think, in this next 10 laps is how well has Sean McNamara looked after his tyres?
I think we had wave rounds in this series.
I believe we do.
We didn't last week.
I'm not sure.
I saw like cars going past the safety car, and all of a sudden we do. So we do now.
Aaron Searle asked me not to give Macca the commentator's curse. So, Nath, you're going to have Dengate behind you at this stage.
Ooh, I did notice him in the pits just there.
So,
Very, Will.
what's going on, mate? What's the strategies being talked about with the boys? What have you been hearing there?
That's a very good question. I haven't really haven't heard too much being up here where we are. I've thought about jumping down a couple of times to say get a little bit of inside goss, but been too busy finding a few walls to scrape along. So yeah, not too sure where they're at, which is going to be very interesting. But whenever I've come across them, we've all been pretty good around one another and given each other plenty of room, which is always a nice thing. But yeah, the advantage that I had through my strategy, I think, where I was, I took a punt and decided that I wanted to get another fresh set of boots on. So I've done 3, got plenty enough fuel to get home. Done 3 sets, so fingers crossed. Bit of fresh rubber, should be able to get home in one hit with a bit of speed. Well, my version of speed, anyway.
So driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, pretty close. Princess Peach, as some say.
Yes. The train of cars now filters its way through the chase. A couple of stragglers still trying to catch up the end here, and there'll be a few boys sitting in pit lane getting a bit worried. I'd say looking at the time Harrison's been there, he's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, it'll be must have copped the knock, did he, young H?
And Ben Anthony wants you to bump draft Andrew Archer.
Right now? I can get nice and close. I'm sure he's like, what are you doing, mate? But I can get nice and close.
Ooh, someone ducked into the pits for another round. Who was that?
David Nash, I think.
Dave Nash going the sneaky another stop. Passing everybody going in, and then everyone comes out.
Not the worst idea in the world. We're only doing 40k an hour.
Well, it's his 4th stop, so not sure. Another sneaky set of boots.
Yeah, could be doing a bit of that. Could be... Might have a little bit of damage, a few optional repairs that he might want repaired. Considering where we are in the chain, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Dengate managed to get back out on track. Back in 40th with Barella in 41st. So it'll be a lap down on Ash. So I'm not sure what happened there. Zeno? Blake doesn't know.
So I tried multitasking then, really didn't work. What was the question?
Does he know what happened to H?
Not too sure. I was trying to do the cheeky look over and see if he would notice me at all, but he seems to be concentrating intently, so I'm not entirely sure.
He never notices you.
Nah, there's just like white noise in the background. Whoop, accidentally overtaking Andrew Archer.
As we come over the mountain, which will probably be for the last time, or hopefully with a safety car, and then we've got a 9-lap dash. This will be interesting.
So I have a little bit of goss for you, Johnny.
Yep.
We believe that unfortunately H may have had a little bit of netcode damage from the wall and got about 4 minutes worth of repairs that he's trying to sort out.
So the wall jumped out at him.
Yeah.
Not him into the wall.
That's the excuse I try and use, but people seem to call BS on that, so I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but I'm sure young H, though, the speed he's got and where he's at, I'm sure he's going to come tearing on through rather quickly.
Yep. From behind you, so...
Yeah. Just to put my multitasking skills to test even more, I'm going to have to keep one eye on that rearview mirror for him.
Absolutely, mate. And of course, Richie Barella leading out Sean McNamara, another one of the Logitech G Pro drivers. Proudly wearing the banner on the front windscreen.
We've had 2 laps behind the safety car right now, haven't we?
Yep.
Correct, yeah.
But in the opening stint, we had 1 lap behind the safety car.
That was 2.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think so. I do believe, if I have my multitasking ears on correctly, that I think we're going green this lap.
Yep. Richie's just giving it what for. Comes into the chase. Keeps it on the black stuff.
The jump.
Nice work, Richie.
Very well done.
Must apologise because apparently I got too excited when the safety car crashed last week. As we jump back on with our race leader, Sean McNamara. As we come down into Murray's. Let's see when he goes. Get ready for an epic dash to the finish. This is going to be exciting. I haven't pressed this button for a long time. I'm going to press the big finish button.
Yes, go on, give it a big slap.
We've given it the slap. And, oh! Tom Freer almost spun coming out of Murray's, but we are green racing. McNamara leaving it to the last second there, almost caught him out. Got Freer out, Hobson tucked in behind. Dylan O'Shea tucked in behind him. This is epic here. Nice long train heading up Mountain Straight for the 33rd time. As it looks like Jordan Ross going a bit wide. Sorry, Adam Briggs going a bit wide there. Looking for some passing opportunity. Of course, don't underestimate Adam Briggs. He was our pole sitter. And don't forget McNamara with the older tyres here. And looks like everyone's still safely going after the restart. Oh, almost dancing out onto the wall. Tom Freer giving it everything he's got to try and hunt down Sean McNamara here. As we come down the hill. Ride it in. Let's back it off through the dipper. Get back on the gas. Every millimetre counts as we come through here, as we come into Forest Elbow.
Here we go.
And Freer tuck in the slipstream here. Is O'Shea going to get Hobson? As we start to weave our way down Conrod. Trying to break the toe. Freer cuts nicely tucked in, pulls out. Coming into the chase, too wide, side by side. On the brakes hard, McNamara at the inside line, manages to hang on. Hobson gets jammed up in the middle there from Dylan O'Shea, but still manages to stay on the track as well. These boys are all not giving each other an inch here. Oh, I don't know if there was a tap. Don't know if there was a tap there. McNamara spun.
That bumper's clean.
It was clean? Righto.
Oh, Joshy Drage also in the wall.
Joshy Drage, Sean McNamara. Oh, big accident in Murray's. Hell corner, sorry. Not sure who that is. Someone's off the track there going back. That looks like it's Kenny Latta. So we've got Tom Frere, Hobson, Ross, Jones now under all sorts of pressure. We might drop back a little bit. Warboy's in the mix here as well. As we go too wide, looks like O'Shea going out into the wall there a bit loose, letting a few boys through. And too wide behind there with Chastity, I think it is Madam Briggs. There's battles everywhere here, don't know where to look. Might jump back on with Hobson. Back up the front, let's see if it settles down a little bit. Freya now pulled away to half a second. Hobson's got himself 0.7 seconds on Ross, and this group here have got themselves out. David Kirby and Damien Johnson, I think, have been involved in an incident.
We might spun over Skyline. Just quickly jump in there as well.
Supercheap auto replay. Let's have a look what's happened to Dave Kirby. He's got a bit loose on Skyline. He's kept it on the wall. Everyone's going to get past him here. A few other boys getting loose by the looks. Might have been Damien Johnstone getting loose. Yeah, Damien Johnson there tucked in against the wall. Everyone else gets through safely.
I'm not sure how many of us are all in this pack, but I can count at least 15 cars, I reckon.
Oh, absolutely, but the action's all going on up the front here as Jamie Dyke, Cameron Jones side by side. Jones off in Murray, spinning back into traffic. He's managed to stay away from everybody. Stationary there, looking for somewhere to go. Gets off the track, tries to collect himself. Jamie Dyke now trying to put the move on Warboys. Warboys changes to the inside line. Adam Briggs in this battle here as well. Of course, Briggsy, our pole setter, nicely getting the inside line there on Warboys. Can Warboys hold him out? Take the inside line going into the cutting. No, he can't. There's an epic little battle here between these guys here for 4th, 5th and 6th. And just keep a bit of an eye. The other battles as well. Jamie Dyke here up 13 spots. Great drive from Jamie. Under all sorts of pressure. Blake Delaney's had an incident. Up on top of the mountain. I think he's got it going again now. There might have been an incident with Christian Smart there, I think. As Warboys now tries to put the move on.
Oh, car's stopped at the elbow.
Up at the elbow.
Sorry,
yep, that'll be Blake Delaney again. I think we might just quickly go on board with Blake Delaney.
Oh dear.
Super
Pretty wide down Conrod.
Oh, yeah, Delaney gets a bit loose into the wall. Not sure if he was helped, but if he was helped, he just helped them back into the other part of Forest Elbow.
Yeah, I'm going to say net code.
Net code? Yep.
Again, yep. Alright, he's full of it.
Hey, that was Christian Smart and Blake Delaney there going tap. Drive-through penalty for Dylan O'Shea for contact with car 269 on lap 34. So we've got a bit of a battle up front now. Looks like Tom Frere's dropped back off as... Oh, don't lose it. Brenton Hobson there getting very loose. So, Jordan Ross now takes the number 1 spot. Of course, these 3 boys are all part of the Logitech Pro Series, so there's three of the best V8 races we've got on iRacing. Showing how it's done here. With Warboys and Dyke sitting further back by 3 seconds. Looks like might have been a little bit of a slowdown there. So Tom Freeze dropped back behind Hobson. And Jordan Ross showing a clean set of heels. Rear on the comms. As we might go back, have a look, Dylan O'Shea is at the tail of this group here, hunting down Adam Briggs. O'Shea, of course, with the drive-through penalty, which is most disappointing. Chris Island hanging onto the back of this group as well. O'Shea peels off for his pit stop. Warboy's sitting in fourth. He's 2 seconds back. And the Synergy car is in front of him with Jamie Dyke and Briggs behind. Big battle going back down here. Jumped back to 29th spot. Harrison Dengate side by side with Nathan Brown. No team orders at WK&P as Dengate gets past. Does Brown look to come back on the inside? No, he can't. He's under all sorts of pressure. Going too wide into Murray's. Brown gets past again. As now Craig Schultz lines up. And 3 wide going down the main straight here in the background. Definitely some good battling going on in the back here.
Oh, you're not wrong. There's some boys, you can tell the boys that are on the quicker tyres, and you can tell the ones that may have a little bump or two as well. It's making for some interesting dynamics, but it's going well so far.
And of course, got some interesting racing going on back. There's Adam Briggs now is putting all sorts of pressure on Jamie Dyke. We might just jump on the nose cam here. So these boys battling for 4th, 5th and 6th. Epic little battle here. Adam Briggs, our pole sitter. Nicely edging it through. I think the second safety car's definitely made sure that there was no fuel issues. So these boys are hard track racing. Slight little lock up from Warboys there, I think, caused a bit of smoke. As we come down, Conrad here and getting in the draft, but not close enough to make the most of it. Definitely showing a lot of pace. He comes up on the back of Jamie Dyke here. This time, does he look to the right? Can't get it done. Dyke goes defensive. Allows Briggs to try the under. Almost gets it done. Nice drive off the corner. Yeah, Michael, we'll come back. I'll show you that one, mate. So he's going to quickly jump back. Lap 33 incident. Have a quick look at the replay of that. Just so much action going on. It's been hard to look. Oh, there was a little bump there. Definitely a fun one for race control. I think we did mention there was a little bump, we thought. As Briggs has dropped off the back of Warboy, so Briggs has got past Dyke while we went to that replay. So it'll be interesting to see if Briggs can hunt down Warboy. So we'll have a look for another little battle we've got between Matt Stewart and Dave Coleman. And Jamie McKnight leading this trio here. So McKnight up 19 spots, Coleman up 20. And Sean McNamara has fighted his way back up. He's in 27th. He's in another good little battle here. Chasing down Jason Schuler. Dave Kirby going backwards. Yeah, David Kirby. He's still got it going. He's off the line at the moment. Big spin, gets it under control. I don't think that's going to bring out a safety car for us.
I'm glad you hit that big button, Johnny. because it has certainly been an accurate one.
Not wrong. She settled down a little bit up in pole.
H having to fight hard here at the moment. Well, and he's still going on everywhere.
And I'll just get back to what I'm doing. Dave Coleman now putting all sorts of pressure on McKnight as he's worked his way through that group. So I might just recap a little bit. Warboys is now starting to be hunted down by Briggs. So Adam Briggs, our pole sitter, we thought we'd be seeing catch up here.
Whoa. Car stopped at the grate. Very close.
Kenny Ladder in a smoking heap. Literally on the grate. He's not going to get that going. Less than 5 to go. He should get the auto tow. Hopefully, Warboys now under all sorts of pressure. Freya's right up behind him. This is the battle for 4th. Jordan Ross in P1 has taken out a clear lead, 1.3 seconds. Hobson, 1.7 seconds from Freya, 2.8 seconds from these two boys.
Wow.
Will we see? Oh, sounds like Freya was a bit loose there again. Briggs, sorry. A little bit loose in the corner there. Dropped off the pace a little bit. And Jamie Dyke now gets his way past. Oh! Flicked on that at the right time. Briggs and Dyke together coming up Mountain Straight. One into the wall. Don't know how Briggs kept that. Gets in a straight line, to be honest, but he's still running. Of course, this has brought Chris Island and James Chastaneef to the back of these boys, allowing Warboys to walk away. Warboys now 2.7 seconds up the road. As we're on lap 40 now, this is the battle we're seeing here for 5th, 6th and 7th. And 8th with Chasty. They're definitely all happening. It's Jamie Dyke and Briggs again, nose to tail. And coming into the chase. We might stay here where the battle is at the moment, as our race leader has started their penultimate lap. Sorry, about to finish their penultimate lap. As the race goes white. Last lap. Last chance for Freya to get past. Sorry, Freya's got past Warboys. Sorry, last chance for Dyke and Briggs here. Nose to tail coming up the mountain. Of course, any little mistake's going to let Island and Chastaneef in here, so they have to be very careful. Too wide. Riggs all the way out. As I said, this will open the door for Island. Here comes Chasty. Chasty gets too wide, manages to hang on. Great respectful driving from both these boys. As he tucks back into the line. As we might jump on board.
Oh, no.
What have you done?
Oh, someone didn't hold their brakes at turn 2 and decided to roll back down on the track. So we've, car is not happy.
Nah, you're missing your front splitter.
Oh, it's...
And Jordan Ross, the boss of Synergy Sim Racing, has drove an immaculate race tonight. He's got to be happy with that. Held off from the early pit stop strategy, stayed out, and he's made it pay. As he comes down into Murray's Corner for the final time. An epic race. Bathurst always turns it on, but a big congratulations goes to Jordan Ross. Well done, mate. And teammate Brenton Hobson brings it home in second. And in third, we've got Tom Freer in third, with Blake Warboys in fourth. Jamie Dyke, he's managed to hang on to fifth. Chris Island in sixth. Seventh is Chastity. Briggs was eighth. Michael Whiting, he's managed to get it home in ninth. Ben Morris in 10th. In ninth, up 19 spots in 11th. Jamie McKnight. Dave Coleman up 20 in 12th. Matty Stewart from Vast up 15 in 13th. Nicholas Loveridge up 32 spots in 14th. Great drive, Nicholas. You've got to be pretty happy for that for the back marker racing boys. Dylan O'Shea after his drive-through back in 15th. Paul Young up 24 in 16th. Hayden Norris up 17. Sorry, up 5 into 17. Sean Rigby up 17, 18th. Timmy Nichols into 19th. Sean McNamara after being caught up. Who's that going wild there? Being caught up. Barella. Being caught up. McNamara finished in 20th. Urquhart in 21st. Harrison Dengate in 4th. Up 4 spots in 22nd. 23rd is Archer. Jones in 24. 25th is Darren Shannon. 26th is Brad Doble. Wow, boys. And there's a post-race penalty for 707. So, waiting for that one to be shuffled around. I've just had word from the steward's room. There will be a post-race penalty for Tom Freer. So, not sure whether that's got to do with the incident with McNamara from early on, but there's probably a fair chance it does.
There you go. Josh is trying to help me get over to the jump, I think.
Oh, not you.
Well, I don't think we're going to make the jump at this rate. I'm struggling to hit 100k an hour.
I notice how you've scraped off everything WK&P but left all the Pettis stuff straight.
It's certainly been a non-intentional livery change.
Anyway, so I believe we might start by grabbing our first place getter and we'll bring him in. And Jordan Ross, congratulations on the P1, mate.
Yeah, thank you, guys. That was my middle stint. I wouldn't have thought that would have happened.
Look, it was quite an interesting way the strategies all played out there, particularly with the early safety car.
Yeah, mate. I was a bit slow on the uptake with the strategy, so I put in all the fuel in the first pit stop, and then I ended up having to sit in the pits a bit longer because I didn't have to take so much fuel, and the sort of the tyres overlapped the fuel in the second stop. So got a bit lucky there with that safety car.
Yep. No, you got quite lucky, and you managed to sort of keep your nose out of most of the incidents that were going on around you.
Yeah, mate, the old head. to stay out of it.
Absolutely. And anyone you want to give a shout out to, Jordan?
Yeah, just all the guys at Synergy and all the sponsors, and you guys for putting this on. I haven't been around for a few weeks, so good to be back. And yeah, thanks guys for putting it on every week.
It's good fun having you boys here. So thoroughly enjoy the Synergy lads. You some of the best drivers going around, of course. So it's great to have such a high standard in this league, which is good.
Yeah, thanks guys. We'll see if I can back it up next week.
No worries, and we'll take it down a notch, and we'll bring in Brenton Hobson, our second place getter. Hobbo, second mate. Well done.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm buggered.
It looked like a lot of hard work, trust me.
It was. The car was just horrible all race. I kept hitting things and then it was damaged. So I had to deal with it for so long. And then at the second pit stop, I fixed it with the fast repair, came out, set an absolute blinder. And then the very next lap, put it back in the fence again and deal with it for the rest of the race. So I think I got about 1 or 2 laps without any damage for the whole race. And the rest of the time, it was just horrible. So it was a handful.
Yeah, it looked like it was very much a handful, and there was plenty of action going on around you. So you managed to keep it relatively straight, considering a few of the other boys.
Yeah, it was chaos, really, wasn't it, out there? There was stuff happening all over the place. I tried to be clever with my strategy and drove straight into the back of traffic. And then I thought that I'd done myself in, but I guess despite how scrappy and bad it felt, everyone else was having their own dramas. And it sort of cycled through that I was in a decent spot, if that had gone green to the end after the second pit stop. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I felt like it was the worst drive I've done around this track, but got a good result. I don't know how that works, but you take them when that happens.
Absolutely. And anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate?
Oh, the guys in the team, it's good fun to bash doors with them again tonight. Congrats to J Ross, picked up the nice win there. That was good. I tried to be brave around turn 2 like the biggest goose and just about put it in the fence and basically handed it to him in the end. But he was too quick anyway. I wouldn't have been able to go with him, I don't think, at the end there. He was rock solid. So yeah, congrats to him. And a few of our guys had a bit of a rough night, but it's good to have them all in there together and racing with them like usual. And thanks to everyone behind the scenes here at the league that make it all happen, and to you guys obviously as well for putting on the broadcast.
No worries, Hobbo. Thanks, mate. And we'll bring in our third place getter, Blake Warboys.
The bloke just over my shoulder.
Yeah, I've just dragged in Nicholas, but we'll just grab Blake.
Cool.
Blake Warboys, how are you, mate?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. You just want to turn your head over this side. There you go. Now you can talk to us.
Hello.
So, mate, it was
Cameraman's not very good.
Looks like you got a little bit lucky with that one.
Sure did. Sure did.
Yeah. So you showed some good pace, though. It was a little bit disappointing. Adam Briggs sort of having that incident very early on under the safety car, and then sort of he came back at you with a lot of ferocity there at the end. And you sort of managed to hold him off, and then sort of him and Jamie Dyke had a pretty epic duel at the end there.
Yeah. Didn't have a lot of time for practice this week, so just ran an old setup from the last time we raced here. So it was, bit of a guessing game whether the setup would last the race, but it seemed to hold on all right. Definitely helps now having a direct drive wheel around here as well. So much easier over the top.
Yep.
But yeah, it was some interesting battles. Bit unlucky there with that lap car, just tagging the rear. Probably, didn't bother calling it in. Probably my fault. Yeah, either way, doesn't matter. But yeah, it's some interesting battles. Quite keen to go back and have a look at what happened to a few of the front guys to have me be the lucky recipient of a third place. But some great fun battles there. Good race with Cameron Jones there as well. That was great fun.
Definitely, mate. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Well, to the team, of course. Always a great bunch of guys to race with. WK&P Sim Sports. forever improving our little team, which is great. I think we're all slowly getting some more pace, which is good to see. Supercheap Auto for coming on board as well. Awesome to have their logos on our car and for the broadcast as well. It's awesome. Wodonga Carts and Parts. Some exciting news with them. Adding a new brand to their, I guess, flock, you could say, for the rest of this year and into the future years. I'm looking forward to seeing the new EKS cart up the front of the series that we're doing very soon. LGK Australia, WK&P race engines, and you and Nathan for probably a good broadcast. I heard little bits and pieces of Nathan, but I tried to drown him out. So
I'll tell you what though, big shout out to Nathan too. Like that would probably one of the hardest things ever to do, to race and commentate at the same time like he has, and I was a bit dubious and he actually pulled it off. So well done, mate.
Cheers, lads. It was a good bit of fun, that's for sure. It certainly put the good old multitasking skills to test. It may have been a scratch or two on the door when it didn't quite go so well, but no, it was good fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
And of course, we'll move on to Nicholas Loveridge from Backmarker Racing. Nicholas, you've got drive of the day, mate. Well done.
Thanks. It was good. It was an interesting race. It was more just like staying out of the walls. So more than anything for me, crashing into Nate in the pits. Because unfortunately, I was a bit like, oh, he's a bit slow, and then all of a sudden he was trying to turn across, and I was like, okay, he's got that pit box.
Was that wait, was that was you and I early on? That was the first pit stop, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah. You were like super slow coming in. I was like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'll just go past you. Like, go around the inside and then turn it across. I was like, oh no.
I also felt a bit guilty for that because I had no idea where my pit man was. I nearly overshot him. Like, I was on a solid, I was on a greater than 45-degree angle by the time I got my pit box. I'm surprised iRacing did the pit stop, to be honest. I had to drop the clutch and do a little skiddy on the way out just to not hit the garage.
Oh, how good. How good.
So, of course, Nicholas, yep, mate, so you're the recipient of the pit pass for Bathurst, so make sure you get on the Josh Drage for that one, and we'll get something out to you as we get closer to the date. And next week, boys, we have Super Sprints at Belle Isle.
Ooh.
Any thoughts on that one, guys?
Fun.
I don't go well there.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah, concrete jungle, definitely. Yes.
But should be some good racing around there, I reckon. Usually proves to be some good action. Should be good fun.
Yes, it will be.
I reckon it'll be. I don't think strategy will so much be a big part of it this time. Like some of these longer races, it'll just come down to pure pace and who's got the best going around there than that concrete jungle, I reckon.
Oh, absolutely. So, on that note, next week, Belle Isle, Super Sprints. Be good to have you all back again. A few loyal viewers. Good to see Will back again, Will Wilson. And we'll say a good night, and we'll see everybody next week.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.